Okay, folks. Willys Whippet. Look at them red shoes. Sorry, no. I don't reckon they're any better than mine, right? Mine's got bigger holes in it. The Willys Whippet wheel. A friend of mine, Lynn, from New York, YouTube subscriber. He'd come down and spent the day with me one time. He's an engineer up there. Anyway, he found this wheel and he picked it up for me and shipped it to me. Got it really cheap. Definitely no complaints about the price. Now, I knew beforehand from the start that it was going to need 4 spokes in it, or at least 4. And you can see they're rotted, and you can see the ends where the dowel comes through. You can see that one's missing where they're rotted out. But these we're going to make these out of hickory. But you know, I could have bought a wheel that was done and ready to go, but I figured it would make good video anyway. And you know, it's something I really want to learn anyway, is how they do them, and I'd love to find a wheelwright, but I don't think there's too many left to be able to teach anybody anything. But so we're going to do what we can do on this, and we'll get it working, get it right. But this is a rear wheel, and what we've run into, and I was kind of worried about but wasn't sure, is the center hole in the rear wheel is smaller than what the center hole is supposed to be in the front wheel. Now these front hubs and drums I bought separate. I actually bought 2 drums and 2 hubs because it was in an eBay auction. And all the bolts, I've got the bearings, I've got a cap, I've got everything we need except for fixing these spokes and getting this set up. So what we've got to do is we've got to bore this hole in the wood out to this size. And I want to do that before we take any of the spokes out, because I want to use these spokes as a pattern. I'm going to take them out one at a time, and we'll use it as a pattern. So what we really need to do is keep it intact, but intact the same size, or the right size. So looking at this, it almost looks like some of them are wider than the others. So I think these are all, you know, possibly just one-off made. So this one's definitely wider than like this one where the opening is. So that's why we're going to do one at a time. And basically what we're going to do is this will be a bigger opening, of course, but we'll take one out, we'll cut the shape of it out, get it to the exact dimensions, and we're going to leave this rounded in long. And I've got a tool coming that cuts a dowel on the end, and that's basically what we're going to be doing, is cutting our length. And that's how we're going to get it to go, but we'll get it to where it actually wedges in like it's supposed to. But first, like I said, we've got to set it up, we've got to bore this out. Now, a few different ways that I thought about we could do this. We may leave this hub on it, and then maybe bolt the drum in place where it needs to be, because the bolt pattern is the same 8 bolts. So bolt it and then go in there with an end mill and bore it. Now the inside of this hole needs to be the same as the ID of this drum. So if we can bore that first and get that together, then we'll be able to you know, slip it on our hub like we need, and we'll get our spokes made. So we got to get this together. Noah's demanding to drive this Whippet. I don't know why, but talking about turbos and all kinds of burnouts and Willys and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, we'll get on and see what we can get done. Noah, did you take any machine shop classes in school?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. With a grinder?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to tell everybody you was doing this, but since you didn't take no classes, you ain't doing it. All right, buddy. All right, we're set up. I don't have it set up on a rotary table, but I do have it set up on my indexing head. And because it's got a 3-jaw chuck, it made it easy. So I'm actually a little far in on it. Now we're about out of height, but we're really close. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, well, turn that now. As you can see, we can spin it around. Hit pull out on that button. There you go. Now turn it. And we're going to do a cut farther in than what we needed, just to do a test cut. And then we're going to see how it works out. I'll show you. Okay, we've done a practice run. It's looking real good. So we're going to run it out to the edge of the brake drum and go around it.
Yeah.
What you got?
Would that just be a tighter fit for it?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We're right on the edge of it. I mean, we can hand fit it if it's a little bit tight. All right, we're gonna lower it down and go around again. Okay, we got it finished up. I got into the hub a little bit, but down low, but it is a rear hub that we don't need. I don't think it's gonna hurt it anymore. So we've got our hole cut like we want it, and we're gonna take the scrum and hub back out and see if the other hub will fit out.
That's not how you told me to do it.
It's all right. Don't want to cut it. It's fine. Plenty far enough. Get you a real hammer. Real good, buddy. All right, let's get him out. Huh? All right. Oh. There you go. Even all the way around. Officially turned a front wheel into a back wheel into a front wheel. So I might not be able to turn that. We ain't gonna put the bolts in yet anyway. No. What I want to do now is get the marker. I want you to number these. Just go 1, 2, 3, go all the way around. That way we know then that we don't get them out of place. And we'll pull one out at a time and make them. All right. Okay, we got them numbered. It's kind of hard to see, but we can see them, not a problem. We learned something. This one's wide, this one's narrow, this one's wide, this one's narrow, and there's a reason for that. These are actually tapered. Look at the end. So this one I shouldn't have taken out. I should have took the outer one that is wedged this way out first, and then we could have took this one out. But we learned something, so we know that when we cut these, we're going to have to bring them back to that exact same shape. Like I said, we're going to cut it, make this, and the reason that we went ahead and bored it is because we want to use this as a pattern to make it exactly the same. We're going to leave this long, and then we're going to use the piece that they actually used to use to do dowels to come down, and we're going to do the dowel on the end of it that fits in the hole. I haven't measured it yet. I think it's 1/2 inch, but the tool I'm buying is adjustable, so you can do multiple sizes. And we'll set this up in the vise, and then we'll set the cutter up into the milling machine. And that's how we're going to do the dowels on it. So anyway, I think that'll work out fine. We'll go ahead and make whatever spokes we need to make. I know for sure we're going to make 4 of them. And we're going to scrape these. I guess what they used to do years back was scrape them with glass, but we'll scrape them with something. And it'll tell us a little more about what kind of condition they're in. But I don't think they're that bad. Surprisingly, this one was hard to get out, even though it was messed up there. I've got it, you know, it's pressed kind of tight, so we actually did get our hole a good size. So I think it's going to work out good. We'll get them all figured out. All right. Okay, we got Noah scraping on it. We're trying to see which ones are rotted and which ones are not. You can definitely notice when you're scraping it, when you get to a soft spot or not. So we're going to scrape all these, and you know, if one of the good ones are rotted, we're still going to, or one of the ones that are not visible from the ends rotted away, we're still going to replace them. But I think we're still going to get by so far with about 4 of them. But we're going to find out. All right, now scrape away, buddy. Okay, we went through this wheel pretty well, checking it out, and 4 spokes is what we're going to have to put in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get some hickory lined up and try to start making them spokes, and we'll see how that works out. And hopefully we can get it done and get it on the car and be able to drive it. Alright, I wanted to show you something else. You know, some of you may remember this machine. I finally got around to getting a drive for it because it wasn't any good, the one that was on it. This is one of the cheap China ones off of eBay. I don't even have the gear on it yet. This is just the box running. First I got the switch backwards. When you turn it off it goes on, when you turn it on it goes off. But I'll turn it on here. You run it very long, it'll start smoking. It's binding the inside somewhere. It gets hot, I don't know. Hopefully they'll replace it. It's supposed to be new, but it was in the box, and the box looked like it had already been opened at one time, and I think maybe they sent me one that somebody had sent back, so hopefully they'll make it right. We'll see. And so we're still stuck with that, but I was hoping to get this machine together and, you know, finished up so I could probably sell it. I don't really need it, but I'd like to get it out of my way. I don't have a lot of room in here. But anyway, alright, well, I'll show you as much as we can on the Whippet wheel as we go. I got a cap for it too, and I've got a rim, so if we can get these spokes fixed, we can maybe get a couple tires on it and take it for a drive. Alright, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.